Hey. Hey. Hey, I saw you come in here. Where are you? Did you guys hear that thunder? So this is gonna be a little bit of a weird video. It's 7 o'clock at night. Summer's winding down, which means it's getting darker earlier. It's storming outside, so that's not helping. And we are beginning a plumbing project. Why? Because we failed our plumbing inspection. But it's not that simple. It's really not as simple as failing a plumbing inspection. If you've watched some of our past videos on the garage project, we've been working with someone to help us get a functioning bathroom in the garage as soon as possible. Jesse and I have learned a lot about plumbing. We've done our own plumbing for under the slab. That was quite the large project. Same inspector. It probably took us maybe a total of like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't even remember. You can check the videos out if you care to know. Just to pass the inspection. It was a really big deal. In a nutshell, what we have is excellent, to my understanding. But a couple parts of it technically are not code. And for that, we failed the inspection. And that's kind of what we're working on tonight, is fixing those things so that we can request another inspection and hopefully pass it and have a working bathroom. Hey, is this your truck? Is this your truck? What are you doing? Hey? Bugaboo, did you ask if you could explore in there? Nope, I'm a cat.
Probably just need to cut this out of here. Well, might be able to just cut one and get it out of there. Let me cut over here. No. Out you go, Mr. Plumbing Man. Oh, that fit tight. That fit nice.
Higher.
Higher? Like there?
Yep.
Okay. We're gonna put the clean out T on there, a fixture cross, and then we're gonna come up to a, what is it, a 2-inch bushing. What did we decide to do? No, we're not doing a 2-inch bushing. Right, that makes sense because we're necking down for the exterior vent that we'll be doing. And then we're coming out at we're coming out an 1.5 inches. So that's a bushing, and we're coming over here for the sink. So we just need a little piece of pipe in there. Okay, and then we're gonna drill a hole here, come out there. And then we need to open the base cabinet that we bought for the bathroom and just make sure what we need to do as far as the height on the trap in there. And then we have to work on the fresh water because we have to move all this over to where the sink's gonna be.
Because we decided that we were initially gonna do this, but we decided we're gonna put our utility sink kind of more in the middle of the wall so that to the left side we have cabinet space.
Well, we'll go back and talk about it more later too. We'll tell you guys why the fixture cross, why we're cutting all this stuff out. It'll all make sense once we kind of fill you in.
So I did it. I popped the eggnog cherry.
Oh, no way.
I don't even think eggnog's available in stores yet, but I made my own. Never.
You've officially done a bad thing because you're so excited for fall that you've jumped to winter.
Right?
Like,
well, might as well start.
Alyssa's calendar goes July, August, Christmas.
Except that's not my eggnog. That's my eggnog.
Oh.
Smells like septic.
Yeah, it smells like black pipe.
Is this what you want to be doing right now?
You know, it sounds stupid, but I actually enjoy this. And I guess the answer is yes, because I really want this bathroom done.
That's very ripe smelling. It hasn't been like the first days of working on this, so not it.
Oh!
Why
Wow.
Why would you smell it? Why would you stick your face down there?
Because I didn't think you were smelling the septic. I thought you were smelling the glue, and then I stuck my face down there. And I think what's worse is when you smell the septic and the glue,
right?
It's like this, and then
it's like someone with BO that like covers it up with perfume. Like
it's like this, and then like at the exact same time, in order to hurt my face. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Double
One
whammy.
day YouTube will have a scent feature, like closed captions, like scents. Turn scents on.
Here's the thing about humans. I don't care how rich you are, how smart you are.
I was totally just thinking that.
How special you are. Everyone poops.
Everyone's septic smells the same.
And everyone's poop smells just the same. So it does not look right to my eye.
It looks low, doesn't it?
It looks perfect. But it's, I mean, by the math, but like to my eye, it looks like it's...
From here, it looks perfect.
Let's see. So I guess I could glue that, and that, except I may not want to glue this yet to make sure I got my aim right. So I don't think we want to drill the bottom of this rim board out. I mean, we'd rather drill through the meat up here in the middle. That way we're not basically undermining the rim board there. So we're gonna kind of pick a spot. So I know that I'm 5 inches out. That I do know. 5 inches from...
Any luck?
Yeah. Making the first hole in the sips.
Well, our sips are 8.5.
This makes me feel like I'm compensating for something.
Right? What makes you feel that? How big is that thing?
Don't ask. Holy cow.
Oh my god. That's insane.
I feel like I could drill a hole to the other side of town with this thing.
Back up.
Holy cow. Dude. Seriously, you could, I don't even know. Like, if I ever go to prison, someone send me one of these, because there's no way prison walls are this thick. I'm easily going to
Only the guy in Shawshank Redemption had one of those or whatever. Right?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know anything about that. I've never handled anything.
There's the foam. Whoa.
There goes money. Right there.
Right, money.
There's more money. More where that came from.
I'm gonna try to drill a little bit upward.
Okay.
Each time you pull foam out, it's probably like $1 or $2. Nice. Did we get through?
Oh yeah.
That was amazing to watch.
Holy cow.
Holy mackerel is what they say.
What in the world?
Put that extension bit back in your toolbox. So use it probably in
Wow. Can you believe that, guys? That's what's between us and the outside world. Can't see anything though. Wait, I can hear the crickets. Some say we have the world's loudest crickets. I wouldn't know because I've never been around the world, but take their word for it. Oh yeah, it's 11 inches of insulation.
Wow.
North Idaho winter got nothing on us. Man, it smells amazing up here.
Does it?
You guys are missing out. Straight missing out. Okay, so water's turned off.
Yep.
The main is off. You already bled the system, so pressure's out.
This is gonna be lower, so we'll get messy.
Yeah, I'll grab a bucket. We can drain that down. So are we gonna pull that back off those stops, or whatever these copper things are called, the torpedoes or whatever? Oh, we're gonna coupling to that. So give ourselves some meat.
So we're cutting this off because we're no longer gonna have our utility sink here. We're gonna have it move down off the wall a little bit. And at this point, I'm correct in saying this has nothing to do with code, right? It's more of a while we're at it type of thing.
We have to because we moved the waste over, so now you move the fresh water over. And that, children, is what a vent is for. Because without it, this is what your sewer's doing.
I always explain to people it's like a straw.
Yep.
Hold the top, it doesn't come out.
Totally.
Exactly. That's so high tech.
Not that I've done that in the past like 15 years, but I was wondering what you did. You just cup them. Cup your boo-boos.
This'll really get the inspectors. Oh yeah. Make it look like it's one. They'd be like, how is your hot and your oh, I see what you did.
Hold right, which a copper hold right is what that is.
Hold right. Okay. Oh, it'll go. So just making sure, cabinet ends here, sink is here. Do we want to move that over a bunch? Like, I'm clearly...
I like where you put it there.
Okay, because this is the edge of the cabinet, right?
Yep, you're underneath your sink.
Okay.
But you're not too close to the cabinet.
Okay. I think what'll happen is that right there, and I think that's gonna be okay. I mean, it's not beautiful. Thoughts?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
One more, right?
Oh, yeah, let's put it on there.
Moment of truth. All done, guys. Cleaned up.
Yeah, need to finish up a little bit more cleaning, but the bulk of it's done yet.
We learned that from the center of the toilet to whatever's on either side of the toilet must be 15 inches to be to code. And our first vanity, which is right here, I'll show you guys the front of it. This vanity, I think, is 30 inches. So we wanted the biggest vanity we could get because we will be using this bathroom for a while, and that vanity allowed us to have a little more counter space than this, where basically you'll probably even have a hard time just sitting your toothbrush on. Of course, we will have storage, maybe an openable mirror, something like that. But basically, in a nutshell, from the center of the toilet, we were gonna be 14 1/4 inch, right?
3/4.
3/4. We're gonna be 1/4 inch short. That's a great visual.
I think there's a positive side to this, though, and I think you're getting there. And that is that the 15 inches was really tight.
Well, we were worried about that for two reasons. One, this inspector, we've been told, has failed people for being like 1/2 inch too short. But I think more importantly than that is that when I kind of like sat, you know, like where the toilet's gonna go, I actually felt that our other vanity was just a little bit too close Not that the only place to put toilet paper is on the vanity with the little hangy roll thing, but maybe you want to put a trash can next to the toilet, or maybe you're gonna end up bumping your elbows. I don't really know. So a lot of times I think code is a really great place to start because chances are it's code for a reason. So I think can help you avoid some really big mistakes in your home, especially when it has to do with ergonomics. And this vanity I'm pretty happy with because I've just been feeling a lot of white in my life lately, a lot of light. And I didn't like that this vanity, we only had a choice in like the dark brown color. So our toilet's gonna be white, shower's gonna be white, vanity's gonna be white. We have a really pretty flooring we picked out. Not sure on the drywall color, maybe white or like a light gray. Maybe a sampling of what we're gonna put in the house. And then we also like this one more because there's drawers on the side. These little drawers. And kind of hard to open without the handles on, but I feel like a small little drawer like that, it's really easy to throw toothbrushes in, makeup, like whatever you use on a daily basis. And this one didn't have said doors, making those things a lot harder to access. This bathroom, we challenged ourselves to use things that we could buy semi-locally, like from a big box store, because the goal of this bathroom is not to win an award, it's not to make us like uber happy when we look at it, it's to get something functional as quick as possible so that we can be happier, live our life, move into the house, and spend time designing the rest of our house in a more timely manner. And we want the freedom and the time to design, say, a bathroom that we do feel extremely good about. And I think in that bathroom up there, we're not planning on settling. So if we have to build our own furniture, we're not gonna feel confined to what's available locally. I think this bathroom's just been a really good experience about what it's like to design a room with things that are available from big box stores that you can drive to. The bad news is in our cleaning spree, we threw away the box for that puppy, so we're left with a vanity and a sink. Good thing is we didn't spend a lot of money on them, so pretty sure we could resell them for maybe a little bit of a loss. I did temporarily just put this in. I just want to see what it looks like. And we bought this one specifically, one, because it's the brushed nickel or whatever, and two, because you can actually fit a water bottle under here, and I think that's a really big deal. Some of these other kitchen sinks, they jet out like right here, and you can't even put like a cup to get a cup of water under there.
Semi-matchy-matchy.
It's close enough.
Yep.
And we got a nice little drain, that's nice. The drain in our RV doesn't really work well, so we don't use it, so I've dropped everything you can imagine. Down the kitchen sink, earrings, rings, bobby pins, hair ties, all of it has been fished out by moi from the P-Trap.
Oh yeah, Alyssa's learned how to use the P-Trap.
It's 10 o'clock, so if I look freaking pooped, it's because I am. Our whole week's been this way. It's just been one heck of a week. So I think what we really hope is that we can kind of move on from this plumbing project, but this plumbing project has dragged out a lot longer than we thought it would.
There's a very simple rule in Idaho plumbing code. It says that on any particular arm, you're only allowed one trap. So a trap is what's typically underneath your sink or a fixture. And an arm is any lateral movement off of a soil stack. So this would be an arm. And we're allowed one trap, or in this case, one sink, one shower, one whatever. Well, in our ignorance, we had originally set the utility sink here, and we thought for efficiency's sakes, we'd just put it on the back side of the lavatory. And normally that would work okay if there was a soil stack coming up and we could have put in some sort of fitting to make that work. Well, in this case, it was just ignorance on our part. So the way this was plumbed was meant to be good, but unfortunately it did not meet code. And what it came down to is that where we have what's called a cross, a sanitary cross, we had a single T, a sanitary T. So we had one arm coming off, two sinks coming into this single arm. And we had to replace this fitting with this cross. So now we've had to move the sink. We were trying to figure out how the heck you're gonna get two sinks to drain into this guy without having to do something stupid. We could have put another T up here, but then our trap would have been extremely high, and that would have been really risky. To accommodate, we decided to move the utility sink over here. And I think it's gonna work out better, actually. We actually took time to think about how the cabinets will work against the outside of this wall. So this cross allows us to have one arm here and one arm there, and bada bing, bada boom, we're back in code. It's gonna work out good though, because we're gonna have room for a 30-inch cabinet on the left side of the sink, an 18-inch drawer cabinet on the right side of the sink, a washer, and of course the utility sink, and then most likely we'll end up having upper cabinets also. And the other thing, we were hoping we would get some leniency because we're trying to get this passed as a temporary bathroom. We didn't even know that was possible. We were worried we'd have to plumb the entire house. And that's a question I think a lot of would-be builders have, is like, how much of this stuff do you have to do before you can start using it? In order to make that possible, we were hoping they would allow us to use a device called an auto air vent. It's a one-way vent, and it's only code in Idaho under a kitchen island, because it would be, well, not possible to run a vent through your countertop and out through the roof. So they allow a one-way air vent. We were hoping we would get away with just sticking one of those on here for now, and then as we finish out the rough in for the rest of the house, we could tie the vents together, and they'll probably go out the roof, maybe through an exterior wall. We don't know. Well, they're not gonna let that slide. So we had to tie the whole system together through the venting, and we had to punch the first hole through the SIPs, and basically we just necked it down to 2-inch and ran it out. We'll tee that or elbow that down and put a screen over it, and that will allow air to move into the system, keep bugs out. It's not a permanent vent though. That's something they're allowing us to do temporarily until we get the rest of the plumbing sorted out. So those two things should put us in compliance, and in theory we should pass inspection. Fortunately, the fresh water side is super forgiving. Because we moved the waste over, we also had to move the fresh water lines. We just capped these water lines. Those are permanent caps, so they'll be fine there. We are going to have to be a little bit creative with the trap primers, because we had originally planned on bringing those out over here underneath the utility sink and then coming off of the stop for the utility sink. So we're going to try to move those in underneath the vanity and come off of the stop underneath the vanity to feed those. Trap primers, basically, this is a manifold system with a pressure drop valve. When you flush a toilet or anything, it senses the pressure drop in the system. It opens a valve for a second and puts a few drops of water in there. And that keeps our floor drain P-traps wet, so they don't dry out over time, and then the septic gases could back up into the house, which not only stinks, but it's also really dangerous. Fortunately, fresh water, like I said, is forgiving, so we came over here and just put some extra fittings in, moved this hold right, and got everything fitted up. So that's pretty much the easy part. I'm sure there's things we can screw up with the freshwater side, but it seems like the waste is really where codes are pretty strict. I'm sure there's codes for freshwater. We just haven't run into them just yet. So what we've got to do is wait overnight and just let all the glue set up. Tomorrow morning probably we'll come out. We'll have to put the system on test from the vent outside. And what that entails is filling it all with water. And I don't think I got to show these necessarily, but these are a little balloon, and I didn't even know this existed, but it has a small pressure cap, like a bike valve. We'll just pull this clean out cover off, and we can thread this balloon in there. We'll tape it and everything first, and then we can air it up, and that'll hold that tight so that we can test just this portion. It's important because we learned from the plumbers that which the inspector wanted us to do, doesn't mean we have to do it necessarily, because we've already tested all of our groundwork. We got that permitted before we poured the slab. So if he wants us to test the entire system, we would have to put a balloon clear in the clean out outside the house and fill up the entire system clear up to there. First of all, it's a lot of water. And it's unnecessary, but it creates a really big problem. So the tub here has a vent that vents air, and it's also the overflow. I guess I'm not saying that correct. I don't think this is a vent. It's an overflow. And if we tested the entire system, we would actually have to take this off and cap that, and then also plug off the drain. because if we put the whole system on test, the water level is going to be higher than this, and it's going to come out and spew into the bathtub. Because we already tested all the plumbing below that fixture, there's nothing to test. So we're going to hedge our bets with the inspector and say, just because you don't like these test plugs doesn't mean we have to test our entire plumbing system. And I guess we're kind of taking the position that if they want to fight that fight, you know what, maybe we'll fight that fight, because, well, there's no need in us doing a bunch of extra work. That's not what this process is for. Not in our opinion. We're homeowners. We're doing the very best that we can. And, you know, we want a fair inspection, just like anybody would get. So that's kind of where we're at. I do want to put the concrete screws in for that. I did over drill that. It's a long story about why. It finally clicked for me that I grabbed the wrong drill bit. But I was able to grab a few new screws. So we'll get the closet flange bolted down for the toilet. And then I think we're going to tonight schedule the inspection. And hopefully we get that in a couple of days. That way, if we're going to fail for some unknown reason, we know now. So we can get it done and get this thing stamped. What are you doing in there? What are you doing in there? Huh? Are you a cabinet kitty again? Huh? Do you like cabinets? What are you doing? Silly goose, it's 10:30 at night. Why aren't you in bed? Oh, that's right, because you're Mr. Nocturnal. You know, you terrorize the world at night. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing, floppy fish? You flippy flappy? Huh, you flippy flappy? Hey, do you know how to use joint compound and Teflon tape? Oof. What's that? Oi, oi, oi. That's a good one. Oh yeah, stink face, huh? Huh. Yeah. Bugaboo. That's the same face I make when I smell our sewer. Yeah, that's the same face. Yeah. Oh, it's the same one. What are you doing? Well, that'll do it for tonight. So we're basically ready to be on test tomorrow. I think I'm gonna head in now and book our inspection. Hopefully we can get it in about 48 hours and we'll find out if we're good to go. Fun, 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 fun. And then maybe, not very long after that, we can poop in our toilet.